Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast. Me Matt. We have a 3v3 for you all here on Calais Battery again. Since we are a very popular 3v3 map at the moment that's come out for, well, I think it's intended for Spearhead and other things. Probably also works very well for Vanilla, I imagine. Probably was designed for Vanilla, I don't know. Let's go through the players. Representing the Allies, we have TKD as the United States of America, going for Armor Company straight out of the gate. We have Nazgul as Mechanized Company for the United States of America as well. And finally, we have Winter's Rose as Royal Guard Regiment with Anvil Specialization for the Commonwealth. Whereas in the Axis, you have Robertus as Panzerjäger Tactics for the Waffen-SS. Captain Airstrike as the Wehrmacht without a commander choice yet. And Maverick as Storm Tactics for the Waffen-SS. Let's see how this turns out. We have a lot of spreading going on the battlefield already. We're going to have the first engagement out here, I feel. Looks like the Storm Pioneer is going to be able to finish the sandbags. They'll open fire. Those three echelon are not going to last long. Destroying the sandbags. They actually didn't finish their sandbags there. They just decided to open fire immediately. Didn't work out though. The echelon are not the best of combat infantry. Now the Storm Pioneers also building up there. Pioneers and Voice Grenadiers in the center, trying to fight against the American mechanized troops. We have early combat engineers coming up for the mechanized. Unique infantry unit available to you if you're playing as US Mech. The 305th. They're only very good assault infantry and, well, combat engineers. They're kind of meant to storm fortifications and that kind of stuff. Not sure what they do in the open ground, though. They have an early Jeep coming up for the United States Armor Company. Some Grenadiers here from the 17th SS. Cheaper unit you can get if you're playing as Panzerjäger, so you don't have to rely entirely on Sturm Grenadiers if you want. Meanwhile, we have a bunch of Sturm Grenadiers. We have double Sturm Grenadiers for Maverick. Generally the basic infantry for the Waffen-SS. Very good compared to all other factions. Basic infantry. You have a command choice coming after the airstrike. Looks like it is Leichte. So a German mechanized force, really. Which could have a lot of potential there. MT-34 Kugelwagen driving around here. Trying to get on a flanking route, probably to try and take out the American Jeep. Yeah, going for it. And decrewing it. American mechanized troopers are present though. Trying to kill the gun on that Kugelwagen, but they're not really achieving it. Aircraft are still behind heavy cover here and getting a long firefight going. You have the northern flank. Looks like the British Grenadier Guards are starting to engage. Well, actually, Royal Fusiliers. My bad. Royal Fusilier troops are engaging with the Waffen-SS up here. Waffen-SS has some good cover positions though. And at this medium range here, I think the Waffen-SS troops will do better against the British. The British needs to fight at the longest range possible. Kugelwagen trying to get close here with an MG42 on top, but its gun has been decrewed. Kugelwagen with MG42 is able to like the division. Ooh, rifle guy going on here. Can't do much due to the heavy cover. Those Grenadiers have to get back. 17 SS Grenadiers are still trying to hold on. As more United States troops are coming down here. With more pineapple rifle grenades. By the same grenade they throw, just, well, being launched. We have a Kugelwagen here in ambush mode waiting to open fire. But I think the Germans have to pull back here. They are not going to last long. Kugelwagen opens fire to push the Americans back. Well, the British troops still have a long firefight here with the Waffen-SS. On the northern flank near the fortifications. Jeep is operational again, manned by the rear echelon. Using the 30 cal on top to the advantage. Oh, but being shot down already by the MT-42 and the Kugelwagen here.
MG-42 team is ready for action.
We have a 30 cal coming out here from the United States. The Americans have secured much of the central part of the front here. Coming in with grease guns in the center. Grease gun is generally underutilized compared to the Thompson, I think, but it's actually it would technically be better than the Thompson in many aspects. It's both cheaper to make, fires the same bullet, I believe, and it's more accurate, I believe. I'm not an expert on the grease gun exactly, but I think it's just overall better than the Thompson. But people just prefer the look of the Thompson. That's very iconic.
Good to go.
So we have a Kugelwagen with the MG42 here on the flank. Aircraft moving behind some hay bales here, probably to intercept. Probably able to hear the engine. And opening fire there. Oh, they damaged the engine with a few shots there. Gonna force it to drive back. Sturm Grenadiers arriving here for the Waffen-SS now. Can be equipped with Sturm Gewehren when they are playing as Panzer. Looks like the MG44 Kugelwagen got decrewed. And the Jeep is now going for the MG42 one, killing it. And we'll have some Americans trying to flank up here in the Waffen-SS positions. There's too much firepower coming our way. MG34 here for the Sturmtrupps. So the Carboneers are trying to hold on here, but that's a lot of Germans. And they are firing at very long range here with grease guns. That said, the grease gun is pretty decent. Yeah, they have to pull out of that. Probably because the 30 cals arrived. It's really just a delaying action. We also have a Vickers here. There's a side blocker between the MG34 and the Vickers, but it looks like the MG34 is just shooting through the terrain, I feel. Getting some good shots in. Also Fortification because on my other side. Looks like the edge course is setting up on this train track. The 17th is trying their best to hold this position. That Realism is probably dead. Yeah, very much so. MG42 set up here. So the Vickers and the MG34 is just having a long range duel here. Flying through the bushes. They both know where each other is. Universal carrier rank for the British. Being equipped with the Vickers go. Grenade assault going overhead, but it looks like the Americans are... Oh, they stopped! Oh, killing two of them. But they might managing to take the point now. Threatening the German position further. We have a Jeep here coming up for the flank here. There might be a lot of Germans here to stop them. Using our piercing bullets against the MG34. But too many shots here is just preventing it from happening. American infantry trying to move up out in the open here. 17 is trying to keep them at bay. We might have a pineapple coming over the bushes here. Pineapple. Oh, the Americans died there to out in the open, but they managed to get a rifle grenade over. Then the other grenade that hit them hard. They can just replenish from here due to the distance. So the Mthis is trying to push up here through the haystacks, but it's being shut up. Keep taken out. American infantry is moving up to support. We also have a half-track here arriving with some Panzer Grenadiers for the Light Division. Generally a very mobile weapons platform for the German army. Coming engineers sitting up here. Their grease gun should be pretty good at this range. They've taken some losses already. Here comes the half-track. With Panzer Grenadiers on the side there, we're going to be able to do a lot of damage if utilized correctly. That British squad's going to be in trouble. Yeah, just moving them down on the flank there. And utilizing a full-on drive-by. I don't think the British can hold this. This is an MG42 and Panzer Grenadiers with good weapons inside, including the MKB-42, I believe they are armed with. The predecessor to the Sturmgewehr. Even going after the mortar here. Oh, yeah, they're causing a lot of issues. Has to stand still though to be accurate with an MG42. Well, the Americans have secured some of the southern flank here and laying some mines. While the Germans are trying to dig inside the train station with a 17 SS Panzer Grenadier. They're calling off the British positions now. German Grenadiers are coming up behind. Advancing very aggressively. I think the Allies are going to need to rally some support for their British allies. The Americans can't do this alone. But the Americans on the southern flank are just being very aggressive and trying to pressure the Germans that are sitting up in this town here. Back coming up for them as well. Panzer Grenadiers, I mean, replenishing from the half-track once they're outside.
Half-track ready.
I believe it's the MKB-42. Yeah, MKB-42, that's what his name is. Basically identical to the Stonegiver, I believe.
The enemy is attempting to steal our
Well, it has some
sector.
differences, but I think it's practically identical. Stonegiver has armed on these 17 as Grenadiers pushing up.
Infantry ready to utilize breakthrough tactics.
Pretty care will suppress them now. We have a Puma running for the Light Division. Utilizes a lot more light vehicles than other German commanders do. I'm supposed to load it on the Puma. I mean, it seems like it wants to fire it though. Smoke grenade coming out there.
Fighting position machine gun is in for
Oh, we have an American half-track, but looks like the Puma got a good shot there.
light vehicle just got destroyed.
You have Irish Guards riding for the British as well. Good assault infantry. Here comes the half-track and the Puma. They're being very aggressive and working well together here. They're going to be able to intercept all these Americans on retreat. Mowing them down. Very, very dangerous here. And grenade assault going in as well. Oh yeah, those Americans are suffering heavy losses. They have to establish a second line. Meanwhile, the British are still somewhat trying to keep the Mthis at bay, but looks like they're succeeding briefly now, keeping a hand on their fuel point. Stuart here arriving. The half-track cannot do much against that.
The enemy has dealt us a blow.
Puma going in for the kill though. Oh, engine got damaged, but looks like they might win out.
Anti-tank gun ready for action.
Puma has to hold back for repairs though. And we have another half-track assault going in down here on the southern flank by the Mthis Panzerjägers, doing the same tactic that the Light Division did. But this cool Wagenwreck is in the way. Half-track cannot maneuver properly. And the north flank we have now is Stuart rank for the British. We have a pack though present for the Waffen-SS. Oh, several Sturmgrenadiers suffered losses though from the artillery strike. So it has to move quickly. That pack is going to set up. Yeah, one shot is all it takes. Half-track's down here on the flank. Has to be very careful. Ooh, that 80 gun is trying to hit them through the fog, through the hedgerows. There we go, they got it. Killing the Grün side as well. American mechanized troops are trying to push up here. There's a lot of Wehrmacht personnel holding up around the space. Getting them in somewhat of a crossfire with the MG42 team. But the MG42 team might go down here.
Securing our territory.
Puma goes down.
The enemy is inflicting losses upon us.
This fight is taking a lot of turns, isn't it? Sturmgewehr's handed out to the Sturm Pioneers. Unique upgrade if you're playing as Sturm Tactics for the Waffen-SS. And while we have the Sturm Grenadiers doing their best here, not a lot of infantry and Mavericks, and they've lost a lot of units. They lost the Sturm Pioneers. Mavericks taking heavy losses to the British. So the Wehrmacht might have to step up again if they can. The Waffen-SS on the southern flank is just digging in really, with a Panzerjäger squad waiting. So the 17 SS is in here with a Panzerbüchse and an MG42 with 100 rounds. That's generally a very good defensive squad. Looks like we have joined the Rex apparently. Hope to deny a scavenging opportunity or cover for the Germans in the future. We have some mechanized combat engineers here in the half-track. Using the 50 cal on top of their half-track to their good effectiveness. Critical trying to push up. Lots of fire coming from Sturmgewehrs though. Smoke grenade going out here, but artillery going in. Captured bazooka on the Grenadiers by the looks of it. A2 Sherman is probably also ready to move in at some point. They just need to not get too close lest they get hit by well, the Captain Bazooka or a Panzerfaust. You only want to avoid being hit by a Panzerfaust. Oh, attempt there from the Halfback to flank, but the Command Panzer HQ from the Waffen SS with its flak gun took care of it. Oh, they were trying to get the satchel off of the infantry command. I would actually have destroyed the infantry command if it would have gotten off. Oh, Waffen SS on the northern flank has suffered many losses. They only have 2 Sturm Grenadier. Meanwhile, the others have laid a lot of mines around here to cover their flank. Probably a fairly smart move considering. Smoke shells going in from the Sherman. Good to see the utilization of the support abilities. Sherman is very good as a support tank because of its unique smoke canisters. Sturmgewehr is pushing up though. Getting ready with the Sturmgewehr. Throwing a grenade in. So the Americans dodged it in time. They have to pull back because of it. Obviously calling it artillery, but that makes him unable to fire back while he's doing it. We have an A2 nearby though, which will cover him. Smoke grenade going out. Sandbags it up here by the combat engineers, but there are some Panzer grenadiers here to stop them. Basically pushing up on the Waffen SS positions again. There's not a lot of on the top flank here to hold. Especially not against all these guard infantry as well as the British snipers on the field. But he is being shot himself. Oh! He got shot up by the marksman! Oh, that's gonna suck. And that's why marksmen on the Sturmgrenadier squads are always a handy little upgrade. Makes them good at long range. They can just slowly pick off at the enemy in long-range engagements. Well, it does mean you cannot get the other upgrade if you like also go for the MT-42. The MT-30 is actually very intriguing. Because it only has 30 rounds, but you can fire on the move for a machine gun, which is fairly unique. But it's an upgrade we see very often. Sturm Pioneers are pushing up here. Let's be cautious, so there is a Sherman calling the road. Fighting position being established here by the United States.
One of our fighting positions is sustained.
You can see a lone Vickers gunner fighting against the Sturm Grenadiers. You might be able to pin them in time, but if the marksman can get one good shot off, or the MT-42 could. Whereas have gotten 3 guard squads though. That's a lot of Irish guard. They're pretty damn potent if they can be utilized correctly. We have a Greyhound armored car here trying to fight against the Pioneers. Should probably win out because I don't think the Panzerbüchse has the penetrative ability to deal with an M8. But there's a Panzer 4G. And that the Greyhound cannot fight. Survived 1 shot though, which is surprising. Well, survived 2 shots technically. We also have a Stuk here, F8 arriving to deal with the A2. Oh, over penetration, and then the Panzer makes the ammo cook off. Good play there from the Germans. They're pushing up a bit. Oh, high explosive switch on the F8. Good choice. That means it'll deal with infantry emplacements pretty easily. The D can also be armed with high explosives, as we can see. Making the D very good at dealing with infantry and fortified positions. These Irish troops are in trouble. So is that AT gun if it doesn't position itself right? Oh, bazooka from the mechanized troops kills the Stuk! Not looking good there. Not a lot of action on the southern flank at the moment. Yeah, on the Realism here trying to get some shots out. Pioneers pushing up. Spotting all the anti-infantry mines laid around the point here. Well, the Panzers is actually working out pretty well against these mechanized troopers. For now, anyway. Also, supposedly is coming here with the captured Thompsons. A weapon I'm a little bit dubious about because it does say it was received well, but it was very difficult to procure ammunition. Ammunition ammo was captured in limited quantities. Honestly, I'm not really much of a fan of the Light Division having a lot of American equipment. That's just my own opinion, though. Not sure how much American equipment they actually used after stealing it, compared to Russian equipment, which they used a lot of. The Germans used a lot of Russian equipment on the Eastern Front they could get their hands on. ECA coming onto the field for the Americans. The pinnacle of German development in the Second World War, to my understanding. Cannoneers are pushing forward here with their grease guns. Have to be cautious though. Grenadiers they are holding back here. Bazooka destroyed their cover. It looks like they're sprinting in. Oh, and high explosive from the Jeep, but grenade assault going out. H2 arriving there. We also have a Mark 5 Sherman arriving for the British Commonwealth to try and deal with the Panzer IV J. Need to be cautious. We do have Panzerfaust under Storm Grenadier. AP has been loaded on the G because they realized they probably need armor piercing when the Sherman's getting around. Takes a little bit to switch between ammo types if your tank can do it. We also have a forward base here for the mechanized troopers. White phosphorus shells been loaded on one of the Shermans, probably the EC-8 here. Yeah, it looks like it. Panzer is pushing up again here with the MKB-42s. Oh, I think this lieutenant might be in trouble. Actually, he was doing pretty good. He could probably have stayed out and won that fight if he was brave enough. Not sure. Half-plane's a spot on the southern flank. Let's see how much side it I see giving him. Not that much because of the side blockers, actually. Sherman's pushing up here together. We also had the recon one on the northern flank here just briefly. Which Mark 5 might be in trouble. Lots of Storm Grenadiers here. Oh, good artillery shells right there. Mortar shells, rather. Hitting the pack and an MG position. ECA's going for the J with a white phosphorus shield to stun it. Grenadiers are still on the flank though. And they do have Panzerfausts. If they can just stay out of range of the Panzerfaust, they should be able to do fine here. Panzer J on the flank, but there's the Sherman to cover it. That Sherman is not moving the right spot anymore, and ECA is in trouble. Oh, no penetration. That high arm of the ECA is working out today. Mark 5 got a penetrating shot there. Big push on the southern flank here by the Waffen-SS's infantry. Getting around the fighting positions. And grenades going out, good to see. And we'll have a little bit of a tank standoff here in the north. On the south, it's really just going up with the Waffen-SS's infantry pushing ahead if they can. That might be that squad because of the retreat path. And the headshots might cover them. Like it might. Americans are doing a counterattack down here. Artillery being called by the United States Lieutenant. The grenades go on return. Okay, the German infantry had to pull back. Kill the Rias Lando. LD is having a little bit of engaging here against the Panzer IV H. Pinnacle of Panzer IV development. Either side having a lot of luck. Tanks around for the British as well to provide constant artillery support. A2 pushing southwards to fight against the Waffen-SS troops. We also have the 3rd Infantry present. But there's too much Sturmgewehr here for them to deal with. Lots of Panzer forces prepared though. Oh, bazooka did not penetrate the Panzer 4G. You see it's moving up though.
We just lost a unit.
He knows it's there, but it's lost sight. Loading a white phosphorus shell. Probably thinking some infantry was still there. So the Waffen-SS pulled back, but they haven't gotten a Panzerjäger now. Jagdpanzer 4. This is going to be very hard for the Americans to deal with frontally. The frontal armor on the Jagdpanzer 4 is very, very high. Has no anti-infantry capabilities though, apart from one high explosion shell. It can only use, I think, every 30 seconds? Or something. If not more than that. But the A2 Sherman's not going to be able to do much against that thing frontally. And we have a Panzer 4 push up here with the Panzer Grenadiers or some Grenadiers. Ooh, immobilized! Panzer 4H down. G has to pull back after that. After this is trying to make a push up here. Calliope coming up from the United States mechanized. Vickers in the building here opening fire. Ooh, direct mortar shell. Didn't do a lot of damage though, thanks to heavy cover, however. But if the Vickers start suppressing them, they might be in trouble. Oh, good rifle grenade killing the squads!
Units of engineers have been killed.
Very nice job right there. Germans coming northwards though, and the Germans have to pull back at that. Hack opening fire. Looks like the Storm Grenadier squads will get out of there alive though. So I'm playing we have a little bit of a longer ranging game going on. Some Stormtroopers present as well. FA coming onto the field here to support as well. FA is very good at providing anti-infantry support. White phosphorus shell in placement. Slowly burning them alive. Looks like the MG team and the pack barely survives the white phosphorus shell. Oh, ammo rack from the pack killing the EC-8. Very fortunate right there. Ooh, A2 flanked the Stuk and got a kill. Jagdpanzer has to be very cautious though, it only can turn forwards like the Stuks can.
AT gun ready.
It has to be very careful with its movements.
Fighting position machine gun.
Panzerfaust going up for the Panzer Grenadiers. Ooh, got a good shot there to Sherman, almost killing it.
Field promotion.
Jagdpanzer loading high explosive shell here. Trying to cover, didn't kill the squad though. Panzer 14 in trouble against the Mark 5. Calliope is on the field here, rocket-based artillery for the Americans. Mounted on the Sherman. The Panzer 4G arriving for the Sturm Tactics. The Sturm Tactics are very low on resources at the moment. There are barely any units left.
Ready for orders.
Double Panzerjägers for the Wehrmacht sitting around. And more troops arriving for the Waffen-SS here. There might be another Storm Grenadier. Looks that way indeed. Pershing coming out for the United States. Okay. They're bringing in the heavy guns. The only American heavy tank of the war, to my understanding. As in that actually saw service. That's what you're trying to push up. But American 80 gun got a very good shot on it.
Standing by.
We have a Boy the Panzer Sherman here. With an explosive shield. Oh, good shot! There's several American troops right there. Boy the Panzer is available to Panzerjäger. Lots of Irish guards are trying to fight here. They will do a much better job than normal rifle sections, I feel. However, very expensive. But you can arm them entirely with automatic equipment with Thompsons and Sten guns. Very potent.
Looks like we're getting into the excitement.
Calliope opening fire, probably aiming for the Jagdpanzer. Alright, behind it. Ooh, killing the mortar team. But Calliope's not being accurate enough to get pinpoint shots on the Jagdpanzer. And now that American squad out in the open is going to get mowed down by the Sturmgewehrs. You see it happens very quickly. That's what he's trying to push up here. Lots of American combat engineers. We have two of them on the field at the same time. Second Calliope, so we have a lot of artillery now available for the Allies. Not a lot of stuff on the northern flank holding anymore. Just a few packs and the two Panzer 48s. Doing ideas trying to reinforce back here where it's a little bit safer.
Okay, go ahead. Rifle squad ready for action.
Pershing is on the field here for the United States. Reclassified as a medium tank after the war. Which should kind of tell you that its role as a heavy tank was probably not as useful as you'd think. It is going for this Panzer IV though, and the 90mm gun should be able to deal with Panzer IVs easily.
Germans attacking our position.
Range gun available here for the United States. Fighting position also opening fire with a 50 cal.
Okay.
Explosive loaded. Getting hit.
Grenadiers ready to go, man. What about the guys who ain't?
A2 waits on the flank. While the Panzer is being repaired. And lots of combat engineers pushing up here.
Ready for orders.
Oh, we have a Churchill Crocodile arriving for the Guard Regiment. Very powerful, potent Churchill with a flamethrower on the front. Can deal with most threats frontally.
Send orders.
Two pioneers coming out to the field for Maverick.
Pioneers reporting for duty.
Might have an engagement here happening soon. The 57 is definitely opening fire. Oh, it's hitting a cache. There's a cache been set up there. Irish guards on the flank here. Only been equipped with Sten guns though. Explosive being loaded here or not? Oh, it's being pulled back. Double American mechanized troops coming up as well. So they're doing a full encirclement up here. As for Jays are here to suppress them. But I think the ally... Oh! Calliope opening fire! Aiming for the Panzer 4 Jays. 1 J down. Ooh. Second here, almost down. He has to pull back for repairs though. Panzer 4 G coming out to replace. Man Panther getting recruited. Panzer 4 J is using high explosives. Looks like the Wehrmacht is stepping up to try and support. Oh, not looking good for these companies if Battle gets thrown there. Oh yeah, those companies are being shot to pieces now. Looks like both squads will get out of there thanks to the that grenade assault. Panzer IV G is gonna go down here, I feel. Especially with the crocodile slowly creeping up. If they can get the flamethrower on that AT gun, they should be clear. Just need to keep driving forward here. That's very heavily armored. But the command Panthers here. Injuring the driver. Panzer fast going out. Didn't penetrate. It's been immobilized. That's probably that croc. White phosphorus on the command path to try and slow it down. And there goes the croc. So the Panzer IV G will get out of there. Recon run. Oh, that's actually a strafe run coming overhead down here. Probably from hold the line. Oh, hitting that Sherman pretty hard. Might actually end that Sherman here if another one managed to get there. And it's hiding something else. Looks like Luftwaffe is really liking to strafe this little area here, killing that American recon team. Another Churchill coming out. This time another crocodile. A3 Sherman being prepared behind us to support an EC-8. Pershing does not look like it's seen too much action. Destroy the vehicle. Did the Panzerjäger die? No, the Panzerjäger is still here. We have a Jagdtiger arriving. Okay. So the Germans is pulling in the heaviest armor of the whole war. The heaviest tank on an armor of the war. That is going to be able to cut through any allied vehicle, I'm pretty sure. Simply because of how big the shell is. Kind of ridiculous. Expect a few mortar shells landing around. And Jagdtiger's pushing forward here now. They're pushing up. Looks like this old bunker has been grabbed here by the combat engineers. Don't think they can shoot out of it though. And it cannot actually be destroyed because it's not modeled for Spearhead, I think. That's probably a bug. Oh, and the high explosive shells from this G is just going to be a problem. Panzerwerfer opening fire. Ooh, got some good shots on the Allied front line, only destroying a mortar though. Allies cannot push up because of an MG42 here. EC-8 is slowly creeping up as well. Needs to be cautious, however, the Jagdpanzer is still present. And here's the Jagdtiger. Artillery call in down there. Jagdtiger turning. Oh, and yeah, that's a dead EC-8. One shot is all it takes.
We just lost a medium tank.
And now the Allies are definitely in trouble. Just needs to drive up quick. Well, that's a lot of anti-tank presence down here. In a very tight package. Panzer IV and Panther moving up as well still. Oh, main gun destroyed on the Panther. Now that's an opening they would have been waiting for. Well, the Churchill's keeping to do some damage here. Not much action. We have double Pershing. Okay. Americans have called in all the heavy stuff. I rarely see one Pershing, then even rare see two Pershings at once. It's just a very expensive vehicle for the Americans, I believe. How expensive is this thing again? Yeah, that's fairly costly. So we just have an MD42 just ripping into the center, but there's nothing still. Light piece opening fire. Ah, they're aiming for the Jagdtiger. Setting the train station on fire. And just firing further into the town here. Oh, killing another squad. And another squad. Devastation right there. You know, this Churchill is still brawling against the Panther up here and the other tanks coming in. Howitzers is being set up here by the Storm officers, or Storm Tactics. This will allow them to counteract the Allied artillery for a while. Light piece of pullback, waiting for the next salvo. Churchill slowly being pushed back further and further. That's a charge going out. Not looking good for the Allies here, though. A3 pushing over the white phosphorus shell. Trying to burn the MT-42 crew alive. Looks like it succeeds. Double Panzerjäger though. Not hitting at the moment. Not because they're firing at the longest range possible. We have Thunder Run on the A3s are able to use high explosive shells only. Those some brave Panzerjägers. Pack down. Oh, and yeah, it's just moving through all of them. Panzerjägers don't perform very well out in the open. Also not at max range either. Pershings are pushing up. They are having a hard time even piercing the front of the Jagdpanzer. Will blitz down. So far no luck. High explosive there loaded on the Jagdtiger, punching straight through everything here. Oh, a penetration on the Jagdtiger. Okay, impressive. Oh, penetration on the Jagdpanzer from the A3 inch. Looks like both sides have to pull back from there. That Pershing is still not moving. Oh, they got the Jagdtiger from the 3 inch, I think. Oh, did the Pershing get it? I think the Pershing got it. Okay, he beat the Jagdpanzer too. Oh, no, Pershing down. Panzer for shots landing. But Jagdpanzer is down. That's an opening the Allies can make use of. Artillery has been called in the area though.
Send your orders.
The Man Panther slowly creeping up. Second Panther is being called in here by the Leichter. Double howitzer is still operating here. Half-track blown up, another Churchill trying to push up here.
Lost a unit. Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Antifaust going out. No penetration. Not easy to deal with a Churchill. Easier went down there.
Enemy infantry out of the fight. Armor ready. Armor here.
Pershing has pulled back for full repairs by the looks of it. Need some repairs on the AT guns here occurring as well. The Germans have scavenged their wrecks at the moment. Scavenging the rig of the Jagdtiger is going to give them a lot of fuel back after all. Fuel airdrop in the American base too, I think. So being picked up. Oh, looks like we have a church that's been immobilized. Panzer 4J is actually doing a good job penetrating here. Looks like we got a bomb there. Oh, killing one! And then the Churchill kills the other. Wow, very nice job from the Irish Guards. Germans took a lot of losses there in quick succession. Just because the Churchill is immobilized doesn't mean it's defenseless. Ooh, this time it might soon be. Looks like the howitzers are getting some accurate shots on him. That's for G moving up. Looking good there. Pushing up again. New Jagdpanzer has been called in. Panzerwerfer is opening up fire as well. Didn't get the most kills by the looks of it.
Half-track has arrived.
There's some more Panzer Grenadiers arriving. This time it's a command half-track from the Panzer Grenadiers. One Churchill is ready to move, the other Churchill's being repaired. So the British and the American mechanized are cooperating a lot on this flank. A lot of big front lines established here by the Germans. Sturmgrenadiers pushing out again. Well, the firefights on the southern flank is getting very devastating. We have a lot of armored pushes going on today. Calliope's opening fire. It didn't look like they did much. Second Calliope opening fire. Oh, that could be a problem because the SS is retreating into it. Oh, Storm Pioneers down. It looks like the Storm Grenadiers are lucky they didn't arrive there by the time the barrage was going on still. Panthers pushing forward here. Bazooka in a trench, very smart. But the Panzer 4G has high explosives. Destroying the trench. They have a Panzerschreck actually. But they got killed for it. British are preparing to push up. Ooh, one howitzer shot got a very good hit there on the Churchill. Doing some damage.
Weapon crew lost.
Oh, we have a lot of fighting going on here. Let me just get some water quickly. Like, we have a lot of action today. I didn't expect this battle to be this intense. There we go, that's my water you can probably hear. Churchill's been immobilized by an artillery shell. Ah, much better. Okay. Like, this utilization of this Panzer 4G is actually working out really well. Because of its ability to just use high explosive shells, means you can really deal with the Allied infantry efficiently. Now the Panther should have a big enough velocity gun to be able to pierce the Churchill with moderate effectiveness. Although it looks like also the Panthers are using facing technology. One Churchill down. Looks like the Panthers are bringing their attack here. Churchill has to try and hold. Panzer 4J is pushing up too. Churchill's being pushed back aggressively. Easy hit him on the flank though. Panzer 4G still gets a lot more infantry kills. Lots of kills thanks to that ability to just use high explosive shells. And while the SS on the southern flank is suffering a lot, we don't have a lot of actual infantry left. And the Americans are still just building up more and more units. Another person being called in. Looks like the A2 has also gotten fun to run now. Panzer is pushing out here. Very cautious out in the open. Oh, One shell hits. Rockets landing. Almost killing the Pershing. Second shell's landing. Pershing down. Panzer is generally very good at dealing with infantry. Or dealing with armor, I mean. The Panthers are still ready to move up. So the Germans are doing a push down here. Mthis is trying to push up aggressively. There's a lot of American firepower along this flank though. Should have been called by the captain. Well, the Panthers are pushing up towards the Churchills again. Command Panther immobilized, back and get repaired easy. Looks like the howitzers from the storm tactics is really helping out. Oh yeah, that's incendiary there running through. Yeah, that's the British lieutenant dying. A lieutenant rather. Panther might go down here. Nope. The Panther needs to keep pulling back. White Foster's on the pack here. Command Panther style veterancy free. Gonna make it a lot more harder to deal with. Y-2 is coming out on the southern flank here for the United States. Third Panther arriving for the German Wehrmacht. We're gonna have a lot of Panthers on the battlefield. Probably help them a lot. The Panther is a really damn good tank all around. Sexton is veterancy 4 and is best trying to deal with the German howitzers now, I imagine. Who themselves are doing a good job. It's putting a lot of pressure on the Allies constantly. Live piece opening fire. Looks like it's down here. They want to get it immobilized to get rid of that Jagdpanzer, I imagine. All the Panzerjägers are suffering heavy losses though. Barely any units left for Germans. Second Jagdtiger called in. Lots of heavy metal on this beach. Well, near this beach. Not much of a beach, in all honesty. It's like a very dangerous rocky point. Is this how Calais is? I'm not an expert on geography, I'm afraid. I know Calais is in France. North of France, I think. That's about it. I think it's also the closest point to looking straight at Britain from France. I think. But lots of armored vehicles are arriving for both sides here today. 3 EC-8s have been lined up by the mechanized. Promise, there's gotta be 3 Panthers to fight them. I think 1 for 1, the Panthers is just better. However, this is the Panther A, unlike the Command Panther. And that is the worst version of the Panther, but it'll still do pretty decent. It has the same gun. Panzer with opening fire. Aiming for the Calliope, missed. Americans still building out the southern flank. Another Beute Panzer arriving as well. You hit everything but the target. Howitzers still opening fire on the Allies. Oh, here we go. Yeah, American armor is pushing up now. As for G might finally go down. We're gonna have a little bit of a tank engagement up here. Command Panther is directing his armored forces. As for J is also gonna be fighting alongside them from the Mthis. And engagement is gonna commence here. Main gun down on one EC8. Panthers pushing up. Good shot there. Penetration on the Command Panther. One EC8 is basically down. The Panthers are advancing. Oh, mines, but mines did not do much. Churchill was trying to keep the Panthers at bay, but they're advancing. One Churchill down, ammo cooked off. He's hitting the flank here, getting a good shot there with a Piat from the Irish Guards. One Panzer IV down. Panthers might be overextending, but they are being supported by 2 more Panzer IVs. Another Churchill down. Piat shot stunning one of the Panther crews. Explosives loaded. Not a good Piat shot right there. Explosive almost killed the Irish Guards though. But the Panthers have to pull back at this. They've suffered too much damage. Nise is trying to get into the flank, but the Command Panthers covering them. Always smart to have like a tank covering your flank for your retreat. Now the Panzer is going to push it with MP40s and KB42s. Lots of automatic weaponry here. They're fighting EC8s at long range. They're just infantry. On the southern flank, we have the Americans finally pushing into the ruins of this town. Jagdtiger trying to hold up here the best it can. But the EC8s are now pushing up against the Panzer Force. And I think the EC8s will win out in the engagement with Panzer Force. Panzer Force just landing, didn't hit much. Panzer Force are going down bit by bit. Command Panther going in for the kill. It's overextending. You generally don't want to overextend. I think the Panther might have been lucky here in winning out. Mostly because there's no other AT equipment nearby. Now the Allies are pushing up aggressively down here. Jagdtiger is still operational. Explosive loaded. That's got to be a dead American squad if they don't move. Yeah. Personally not pictured. The frontal armor on the Jagdtiger is pretty damn thick. Probably the heaviest tank, probably the most heavily armored tank in the game. Probably. That Beute Panzer is going down. But the Panthers ready to move again. Still supported by his Panzer 4G. Light piece opening fire. Ruining the rest of the town here. Forces the SS to back off even further. Using another squad and a command half-track.
Command has been lost. Dispatching a mobile HQ vehicle.
Panzer IV is down finally! Another Churchill's in trouble here. The Panthers are getting some long-range shots in, or trying to. But the Piats are getting some good shots as well. Explosive kills them though.
We've lost a unit.
Panzer 17 pounder. But EC8's on the flank. The 17 pounder will be able to get the time it needs, I feel. Oh, the EC8's are getting some very good shots on these Panthers. Panther pushing up again. Looks like the Pershing is heading northwards. Probably feels its gun is more worthwhile up here rather than down south. Yeah, it's trying to get rid of that command Panther.
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped
70
out.
pound has been set up. And one of the Panthers are immobilized. One Panther down there thanks to the Pershing. As we just managed to get up close here. Bring up about the Ladno. Basically a bundle grenade of German stick grenades. And in the trench, it will destroy the trench. Lots of mines, but I think they only trigger on tanks. Looks like a Jagdpanzer is also relocated northwards. We have a lot of a tank fight going on here. It's like a cruise of tanks along the coastline or something. So many armored pieces today. We have another Panther coming to replace the lost one for Lecter. But the allies need to make their move soon, I think. We have another Greyhound called in, probably to serve as a scout vehicle. And with its purposes. You know there's a Jagdpanzer right there. Oh, that Greyhound is doing a very bad move right there. Ooh! Needs to move. Or the Jagdpanzer can back off too, I guess. Welcome to Pack Valley. Oh, they lost a Sexton there due to all the packs. I get it. So much is going on here. I don't think the British can make a comeback unless these Churchills can break through. And the Americans really have to support their British ally at this point. As if they don't break through, I think the Germans can stabilize the defense. I said the Allies do control the fuel here just as the Germans control the fuel there. Okay, just pushing up Calliope's opening fire. Not getting the best of shots. Oh, they dazed one of the crews! Pershing getting a good shot there. There's a Jagdpanzer on the flank here. You see it's pushing up. Oh, penetrating shot. Jagdpanzer down. Too much pressure on it. Too much pressure with no support. Panthers moving into the center here. I think the ECS can win this engagement. They do have faster rate of fire though, but the Panthers' high velocity gun just shoots through their armor. Well, the Irish Guards are just unable to push up here.
Send your orders.
Allies are taking a lot of losses here. Panthers being entrenched. They stopped with the entrenchment though. German Panthers advancing. Panzer Grenadiers moving up alongside them. This Pershing is going to try and hold them off. Oh, immobilization on one Panther. Penetration one. There are mines here, but I don't think the Germans know that. Oh, this could be the end of this engagement shortly if either side loses a lot of their tanks. Panthers operational again.
Report of an infantry unit being wiped
Well, we have a Greyhound on the flank here.
They got a Panzer track!
Ah, they lost the gunner though, they have to pull back. Oh, that's not gonna work.
Good effect on target.
Oh, they missed again, it is a small target.
Light vehicle just got destroyed. They dialed us in.
The ECAs might try with another angle. Jagdpanzer is, could be caught off guard here. There's a Panther to try and cover it. Oh! Very close, but now the ECAs are gonna arrive too late.
We just lost a
Jagdpanzer can just get a good shot here on the flank, but they keep driving. And that's going to be one shot, I think. Oh, they just keep driving too fast. They're too fast for the Jagdtiger. But there's too many other guns here. Too many heavy German tanks. It's going to be another EC8. Yeah, ammo cooked. I suppose with the AZ gun there, I think the Germans can turn this around. The Allies might have been overextended a bit with some of their armor.
Standing by. Send orders. Heavy tank ready.
Well, now the heavy pack is moving here. Panther supported by the Jagdtiger. Or is it the other way around? Probably the other way around with the Jagdtiger being supported by the Panthers. And I like the Wehrmacht has done a very good job today. As for Jason still holding the flank against the British. The British even able to push up, really.
Standing by. Send orders.
Now the Germans are trying to re-secure this fuel point.
Squad, shut it. Volksgrenadier, ready for action. Clear. Looks like we're getting into
The IP opening fire again.
the
Ooh, aiming for the front line up here of the Germans. And looks like the Mthis is not going to be able to hold that front line for long if the Churchills can just push through somehow.
Ready for orders.
Panzerwerfers are moving up. Probably aiming for the Calliope's. Looks that way.
Our opponents are seizing the sector.
One Calliope down. Allied tanks pushing up. Pershing is going to have a hard time against all these Panthers. ECA took a shot too. But the Light Division has done a great job here utilizing their Panthers.
Ready for action. Ready for orders. Ready to move.
Smoke shells going in.
Is ready for battle. You need something?
What can the Allies do at this point though? As long as the oh, there's a lot of mines still. So if these heavy tanks move through the center here, they could be in trouble. I can see 4 sets of mines so far. That could be a problem. That's 48 down. Churchill's not very heavy. They're just gonna have a hard time against the Panther though. And with the American infantry just pushing up aggressively. Lots of BARs. Jagdtiger has to relocate. Oh, the Americans have composite B, but they have an MG42 covering it. Good attempt though, but if that MT42 wasn't there, that would have been a dead Jagdtiger, I think, because they could have thrown composite B on it. Very good attempt. The light opening fire. Still in the command half track. Halfman did survive so far though. Oh, he did. Have took a heavy shot there. Command path leading the charge up to try and deal with this Churchill. Ammo rack from the Panzer 4J. They are impressive. Another Pershing here alongside an EC8. Jagdtiger is still on the prowl. Big inch. That's forcing it to back off for a bit.
Regiment advises. Infantry ready to utilize breakthrough.
Allies have lost, the British have probably lost all the infantry though. And without infantry, you cannot really make much of a pushing force. You need the men on the field, basically. With boots on the ground. And the fortress still calling the center here.
We are losing a sector.
Trying to shoot for the hedgerows to try and hit the Pershing by the looks of it. Raketenwerfer's opening fire. Again, also aiming for the Pershing, immobilizing it. Making an easy target for the Jagdtiger. If he can get sight on it. You see it going in? Panthers going in. That's a dead EC8. The Allies can't really win a tank engagement with that Jagdtiger and the Panthers. The frontal armor of these Panthers is just too much. Pershing went down there to the Jagdtiger, being decrewed. Ooh. Yeah, that goes. And German armored force can move up against shortly, loading a high explosive there. Or will they hit the mines if they keep advancing is the question. Yeah, mine went off there, but at this point, yeah, surrender. The mine also did not seem like it did much. I hope you all enjoyed this one. It was certainly a bit of a rumble. I'll see you next one, everyone. Bye-bye.